Guys, what is going on? Welcome to the Corporate Athlete Podcast. This show is super simple. It's going to help you move the needle forward. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, if you're in sales, if you're working a 9 to 5, it does not matter. The information that's going to be dropped on this podcast is going to help you do a couple of things. Get closer to your family, get closer to yourself, get closer to your mindset, your fitness, your habits, and more so, get closer to God. So I'm your host, Kobe,
I'm Luke.
and we're going to be dropping some value today. So the real idea and the ideology of what corporate athlete means is a lot of you guys played sports. A lot of you guys were high-level athletes. Some of you guys may not have played sports. But the biggest thing that you learn in sports is that repetition is the mother of skill. Same thing with the business aspect and everything that you do in life. So our goal here is to provide you value that's going to help you move the needle forward in all of these areas. So Luke, could you go ahead and just let our viewers know a little bit about yourself and how adapting the Corporate Athlete podcast over the years has suited you and helped you recreate?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, number one, my name is Luke. I've been here with the LA group now for 3 years, known Andy and the team for 5. And really the premise and purpose of this podcast is what we believe is that high performers in sales and in leadership, they have to train systematically across multiple areas of their life every single day to sustain high performance and growth. Very simple.
That's right.
There's a great quote by the man Kobe Bryant, and he said, confidence comes from preparation. Confidence comes from preparation. And so we truly believe that every single day, and again, like Kobe said, whether you're a stay-at-home mom, whether you're in business, sales, leadership, working a 9 to 5, fresh out of high school, it does not matter. Every single day, we believe that you must get 1% better, 1% in every single area of your life. And so honestly, truly, for me, how I've adapted this mentality, this mindset into my own life, it's really 4 areas of our life that we're trying to grow in every single day. Number one for me, and I know Kobe as well, and our entire company, it's our spiritual capacity. God. God is number one in our life. Jesus Christ saved my soul. Jesus Christ saved Kobe's soul. And we believe every single day that the foundation for our life, our business, our marriages, our families is built on God. And so spiritual capacity, how every single day can I get closer to God? Number 2 is our mental capacity, Guys, you're in sales, you're a mom, you're a dad, whatever you are, every single day our mind has to be renewed. Our mind has to be almost washed off, because I know for me, even at 36 years old, I wake up with anxiety, I wake up with fear, I wake up with doubt, I wake up with shame, and my brain starts to feed things into my mind, into my heart and my soul that might not necessarily be true. And so how do we take these thoughts, how do we take these things coming into our mind, and we pivot, man? Every single day we're putting wisdom, knowledge into our minds, training, learning, studying, growing that mental capacity. And number 4 is our emotional capacity. Guys, our feelings, they're real. But every single day, man, if I did everything that I felt like doing, if I only did what I felt like doing, I would never move the needle in my life. Never move the needle in my life. So every single day, how can I emotionally learn how to take the things that are coming into my mind, take the feelings that I have, detach from those feelings, detach from those emotions, and continue every single day to grow in these areas. And number 4, I don't think it ranks in any order, but number 4 is our physical capacity. You guys know at the LA group, we're into fitness. We're into taking care of our bodies. We're into fueling this thing that we have in life to push ourselves in life every single day, moving the needle forward. So physical capacity, man, how can I grow in that? And for us, it's getting in the gym, it's working on our body, it's finding weaknesses and pushing past those limitations and growing a little bit every single day. So again, Kobe, that's the spiritual capacity, the mental capacity, emotional and physical capacity. That's what we're trying to grow in every single day. And me adapting that mentality into my life, it's changed everything. And we'll get into more of my story later on, but from age 18 to 30 years old, I lived the same year over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Why? Because I was just working hard. I was a hard worker, but I wasn't growing. I wasn't growing in my spirituality. I wasn't getting healthier. I wasn't growing in my mental capacity, my knowledge, my wisdom. And so willpower is only going to take you so far. But every single day, we truly believe, man, how can I look at these areas of my life, every single one of them, and can I improve 1% better? And so throughout my life, I've had the wrong people in my life. I've had the wrong mentors. I've had the wrong coaches. But I know that once I got around the right people, living this lifestyle, living this way, this standard, everything changed in my life, Kobe. So whether it was when I was younger, whether it is now, it doesn't matter when you start. It's a decision, man, to take these principles and adapt them and put them into your life every single day. So again, we'll get more into my story a little bit later, Kobe, but that's how I've adapted that mentality, the corporate athlete mentality, because every single day, man, like I know that I'm going to come against trials. I know I'm going to come against hard and difficult things. And if I'm not improving myself, those things, they're eventually gonna take me out. The pressure in my life, the pressure in Kobe's life with wife, kids, business, family, it's never gonna decrease in my life. From now until I die, the pressure is never gonna decrease. And so if that's the truth, that the pressure in my life is never gonna decrease, what option does that leave me? And that leaves me with the option of every single day, I gotta improve, I gotta grow, I gotta get better. Every single day. Athletes, whatever the sport is, after the game is over, they're not just immediately going on to the next game. They're going back and they're watching the tape. They're going back and reviewing the film. And what did I do wrong here today? What did I do wrong here today? How can I get better here tomorrow? Every single day. And people don't like doing that. People don't like living that way. I don't like living that way. I don't like looking in the mirror every single day and finding my own flaws. But how am I going to get better unless I point those out? And I avoided accountability so much in my life, dude. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a longer intro, but yeah, that's how I've adapted it into my own life.
All of these capacities are important, right? The physical, the mental, the spiritual. And at the end of the day, it's the ability to adapt. You know, so for me, growing up, I was a high-level athlete. The things that we learn playing sports is the same thing that you transition over into business, into life, being a father, being a leader, whether you're in sales, working the 9 to 5, all these things are important. And what I've learned over the course of being a high-level athlete, playing Division I baseball, is that repetition is the mother of skill.
Yep.
It is always the mother of skill, and the ability to self-adapt and self-correct the fastest. Andy says this all the time, our CEO, Andy Elliott. He says, those that can self-correct the fastest will forever be wealthy, not just in your bank account, but in your life, your mind, your fitness, your habits, your skill sets, all of these areas. So I was blessed to be a high-level athlete and transition over into the game of business, because that's all that business is. It's a game of thinking, adapting, recreating, personal developing every single day, because if we're helping people, which is what we do on a daily basis, we must be developing at a very high level at night behind closed doors so that we can serve those at the highest level. Andy says this all the time. You know, a person that really recreates his life is qualified to change other people's lives. And that's why the Corporate Athlete Podcast mindset in general and the way that you think, it's so important, because we know that people are struggling. We are still trying to fly the plane while building at the same time. So the things that we have learned in our past, bringing it over into the future and the present more so, and taking accountability, and really, like you say, as an athlete, right? What did athletes do when they finished playing and performing in a game? They watched film, they audited, they figured out what kind of moves they can do better, what kind of, you know, things they can implement to the next game. So it's always about self-correcting. And I think the Corporate Athlete Podcast and the vision of this podcast is truly to be authentic, to give you guys truth, because all change begins with truth and honesty. And like Luke said, the more we start doing these episodes, you're going to learn more about us. You're going to learn that we are you and you are us.
Yep.
We're very much the same, but it comes down to making a decision. And when you make that decision to change, when you look yourself in the mirror and you're not happy with who you see, whether it's in your physical fitness, your mindset, your spirit, you have the ability to change. And all change becomes and happens with just making that decision. So with Luke, could you kind of share the ultimate vision of how someone that's tuning into this podcast each and every week can find value and find skills and information that they can really start implementing and learning into their lives that are literally going to help change them? Because here at the Elliott Group and what we do, we talk about standards. We talk about how we operate not just from a business standpoint, but in our lives, knowing that we are husbands, knowing that we have kids, knowing that we have a family, knowing that we have people that are counting on us. So the vision of the Corporate Athlete Podcast, the mental capacities and the different capacities that we're going to be talking about and operating by, how does the vision all around help someone that is watching this, that's learning and wanting to go to the next level?
Yeah, 100%, man. Well, I don't care who you are, whoever's listening to this, whatever year it is, it's the year 2026 right now. I don't care at what point you're listening to this. You might be asking yourself, well, I'm not in the corporate world. I wasn't really much of an athletic person. That doesn't matter. The mentality is this, man. Every single day, whatever your vocation is, whatever your job is, whatever your life mission is right now, Or do you think you need to grow in your spiritual capacity to be
Absolutely.
100% getting better every day? Yes. Do you think you need to be in great physical shape? Do you think you need to be able to handle your emotions? Do you think you need to be able to have a good mental capacity, a good mindset, good skill sets, good habits? Yes. And so don't listen to the title of it and be like, well, I don't fall under that, so that it's not for me. That's not true. And so the vision of the podcast, man, is number one is a community of people that want to grow, that want to accelerate their life, that want to get close to God, that want to be in great physical shape, and they want to be the best possible version of themselves inside of whatever their work is at this day and time. Guys, whatever you're doing right now, it's temporary. I don't care if you've been in the same industry for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Nothing is forever, right? And so maybe you're in a position right now where you don't like the career you're in. You don't like the job position you're in right now. That's okay. Understanding that, identifying that, and knowing that you don't like where you're at, then this is a perfect opportunity to change. So my vision, man, is number one, to build a massive community of like-minded individuals that want to scale in their life. We talked about it on the first question, that want to grow spiritually, that want to grow mentally, that want to grow their emotional capacity, that want to become a better person in their physicality and how they look and how they appear. And so my vision is community of people that want to build their faith in God. I mean, dude, at some point, I know I want to do some questions and answers. I mean, dude, even inside of our own community here at the Elliott Group, we just got a guy that came in that is a professional baseball. He's a pitching coach. He develops pitchers, right? So like we have people inside of our community that were in the professional sports world, that are currently in the professional sports world, that maybe their dream of being a professional athlete didn't work out. And that's okay. But these are very skilled, disciplined, high level people that have a skill set, that have a mindset that they can take, that they learned in the sports world, and they can put that into business. They can put that into sales. They can put that into whatever career field that they want to go into. And so I see us doing interviews with different people inside of our community, outside of our community, whether they're from the athletic space, whether they're in the corporate world, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, man, like I want this just to be a community of people that want to grow, that want to scale, that want to take their life to the next level. And we're going to provide value for you guys. We don't want anything from you guys. All we want is for you guys to listen in, tune in, take notes, get the wisdom, apply it to your life, and then invite other people in. Invite other people into the community. I truly believe, and you've heard it before, that an individual is always going to get beat. An individual will always get beat, but a team, a community, a real community, you will not get beat if you have a community like that in your life. And so I mean, the vision's massive, dude. Both of us, dude, we grew up playing sports. We've coached kids. We've coached high school athletes. Man, I love the comparison. That there's so many comparisons, so many parallels that can be drawn between high-level athletics and high-level performance in sport, in sales and leadership, 110%. And so with my passion for the sport world, for Kobe's passion for sports, athletics, personal development, physical fitness, it's all intertwined, guys. Most people don't have business problems, sales problems. They got personal problems that are bleeding into every single area of your life. And if you can get your spiritual life right, if you can get your physical health right, if you can get your mind right, get your emotions right, you're gonna succeed. You're gonna succeed. You're gonna get to the next level. Every single day, you're gonna keep growing, and you're gonna find these holes. And me personally, I know Kobe can agree too, I never want to get to a place in my life, ever, where I feel like I've arrived. When I get to this place of like, I'm good, I've arrived, that feeling, man, when it comes over me, it may feel good in the moment, but I know that if I stay there, if I sleep on my wins, whatever area of my life that I'm getting a win in, if I sleep on that win, I'm bound to fall.
I think that's a lot of people too. They think that they're good, they're comfortable. Comfortability kills, and never forget this, guys. Good is always the enemy of great. And every single one of you guys that are tuning in and watching the podcast over the next few months, over the next few years, you guys have the capabilities of becoming someone great, okay? It's already in you, okay? God all blessed us with superpowers, and the superpower is the ability to change, so that's why we're doing these Q&As. That's why we're going to bring people on board. That's why we're going to give you guys real, authentic value that you guys can apply. It doesn't matter what space you're in or what you're doing in this life. And at the end of the day, we want to help you guys dominate in business, help build your faith, help you get closer to your families, help you be leaders in the marketplace and in the community. And that's what the Corporate Athlete Podcast is, So, at the end of the day, we thank you guys for tuning in. And just so you guys know, every single day you guys need to increase these things, right? You never stay the same. It's either you're always growing or dying. And never forget this. Every single person here, including the two of us, we have an expiration date. But you must be able to see it in your mind before you have it in your hand. What does that look like? You got to start visualizing, and then more so put things into action. So the Corporate Athlete Podcast is super simple. It's going to help you increase your faith. It's going to help you lead your family. It's going to help you build your body. It is ultimately helping you become the best version of yourself and winning under pressure, because pressure does two things. It either creates diamonds or it bursts pipes, and every single one of you guys are diamonds. We just got to chisel away at that rock every single day. So we want to say thank you for tuning in. It's important that you guys like, subscribe, share. Even if you take one thing away from each episode that we're dropping each week, internalize it, utilize it, implement it. And if you know you have people around you that can also go ahead and apply these things to their life, you're doing them a disservice by not sharing this with them.
100%. And I just want to say this. I don't care where you're at in your life. Like, if you've been losing for the last month, year, decade, it does not matter. Today is a new day. Today is a new day. I don't care what day you're listening to this. And before we go, I wanted to give one shout out. I didn't get to do this last time. I want to give a shout out to Team USA, the men's hockey team. They won the gold medal this year at the Olympics just now. And 46 years was the gap between when that happened. So my point in all that is saying is, I don't care if you've been losing for the last 30, 40 years. One win, one decision will change your entire life. And so shout out to the men's US hockey team. I just had to say that, man. 46 years for that. But again, for you guys, I don't care how long you've been losing. Make a decision today. I'm going to grow today. I'm going to get 1% better today. I'm going to lean into this community today.
That's right. So guys, we just want to say we thank you. We love you for tuning in to the Corporate Athlete Podcast. And remember, this is where leaders are built under pressure. We'll see you next week.